Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Hypnotherapy-Based Self-Discovery class. My name is Raluca Barbu, and I am the Adult Programming Specialist for the Algonquin Area Public Library. Joining us tonight is Coach Mya Velasco, founder and CEO of the HappyLife Nation. She's a bilingual registered nurse, certified hypnotherapist, and sound healer. In this guided session, you will discover how your subconscious beliefs shape your thoughts, emotions, and confidence. You will explore hidden patterns, reconnect with your inner self, and leave with simple tools to support your personal growth and healing. This program was made possible by the collaboration of Gail Borden, ELA, Cook Memorial, and Algonquin Public Libraries. Earlier today, I emailed all participants the handout that Coach Mya put together for this class. In case you haven't received it, I can also send it through the chat. This is a Zoom webinar, so your camera and microphones are turned off as an attendee, but you can enable closed captioning and ask questions through the Q&A feature at the end of the presentation. Thank you for being with us, and I will now turn it over to Mya.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy and so excited that you have taken the time to be here today, and I'm so excited to share this space with you as well. As Raluca mentioned, the handouts that were sent out to you earlier before the session, there were 3 questions on there for you to answer prior to starting today's session. But if you didn't get a chance to review it or didn't get a chance to do it, don't worry about it. I can read those questions to you so you can kind of have an idea of what to think about during the session. So the first question is, what's one area of your life that feels stuck or repetitive? What belief or thought do you often tell yourself? And where do you think that belief may have started? So you can think about those questions. You can write down quickly your answers to those if you like. But we're gonna get started, and like Raluca mentioned, today's class is self-discovery through the subconscious mind. I believe you also have access to the chat, so if you want to share your experience throughout our session, we're going to be doing a couple of exercises. So if you wanted to share how you felt, what happened throughout the exercise for you, you can share that in the chat with everybody else that's listening, or just hold it in your heart. So this session will be a gentle guided experience where we're going to explore what hypnotherapy is and how your subconscious beliefs influence how you think, feel, and act, and how you can begin to shift those patterns to support your growth. This is not a clinical or therapeutic hypnotherapy session, so it is an educational and reflective experience. This means that you will be fully aware and in control the entire time. All you need to do is relax, stay open, and allow yourself to notice what comes up. Just to share a little bit about me before we keep going, I am a registered nurse. I have been a nurse for several years in the medical field, for more than 10 years now. I love helping people achieve their goals. I'm in the medical field because I wanted to help people heal, help people get better. And my biggest passion is helping people achieve their success and their goals. And this is what brought me to this path and what I'm doing now. A little bit different than nursing, but I absolutely love it. And I absolutely enjoy being part of the success of someone else's experience. Sorry for the sidetrack. I realized I didn't shared anything, so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background for me. So like I mentioned, find a comfortable position, turn off any distractions, and have something handy if you want to take any notes. And I always like to start by taking a moment to set an intention. I would like for you to ask yourself, what do you want to understand, release, or gain clarity about today? You can write it down or simply hold it in your heart. So first, let's start by understanding what hypnotherapy is. Hypnotherapy is a very beautiful practice that helps you make lasting changes in your life through your subconscious. It is not a quick fix. I know a lot of people sometimes are very curious about hypnotherapy and think that, they can go to one session and they'll come out of there a completely different person, but that's not the case. When you go to hypnotherapy, sometimes our beliefs are so deeply rooted inside of us that this requires several sessions to make a lasting change in your life. A successful hypnotherapy session is a combination of your commitment, the tools we provide, and the actions that you take. So if you're ever curious about that, keep that in mind. Don't walk into a session thinking that it's only going to be one session and you'll be out of there and you'll be able to live a different life. It does take your commitment and action to fully uncover and make those changes stick. So now let's talk about your subconscious. Think of your mind as having two main parts. The subconscious mind is the part that reasons, plans, and decides. This is what you're using right now to listen to me. And your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is what stores your emotions, your memories, your habits, and your beliefs, especially those that are formed in childhood or through repetitive experiences. Many of our automatic reactions, our fears, our confidence levels, even how we see ourselves, are shaped by what's stored in your subconscious. So if you've ever felt stuck despite knowing better, it's likely a subconscious pattern, which can be changed through your actions, exercises, and hypnotherapy. So this is one of the great practices, and what hypnotherapy helps you uncover and change. It's all of those deeply rooted beliefs that you have, so that you can live a more confident life or change the patterns that you don't want to have in your life anymore. So let me give you an example to help you better understand how hypnotherapy and the subconscious mind works. I'm going to ask you to, for a moment, just pause your chat or your questions and close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you have a lot of money in your bank account. Just go ahead and close your eyes. Do this exercise with me. Visualize the number in your mind, whether it's dollar signs or bills, however your mind understands money. I want you to see that in your mind. Visualize and see how much money it is. And now, I want you to double that money. Double that amount. Make it grow. and double that amount again. And now double it again. And again. And double it again. And again. And now multiply that by 10. And now multiply that amount by 10 again. And again. And again. And see it grow. See more money in your account. Now open your eyes and reflect on this experience. And again, you can share in the chat or just think to yourself, did you find that your mind tried to hold you back as you were increasing your money? Were there any doubts in you thinking that it was not possible for you to have that much money? Any hesitation? Any limits? Did you find yourself putting limits when you began to feel uncomfortable? As if it was not possible for you. So, in a lot of the cases, usually this is the reaction. You have a limit to yourself as to how much you can achieve and how much you feel you deserve. So I like doing this exercise because it kind of gives you a perspective and an easy way to understand and kind of be able to see where your limits are. You know, there's so many other ways and so many other different limits and beliefs that are holding us back. But this, sometimes it's the easier, like a visual experience where you can understand how your limits are holding you back. So even though this may feel a little bit frustrating, and I do see some people sharing that that's how they felt, that they had to stop, that they couldn't go higher. Even though if it may feel sad or shocking or disappointing to you, know that this is a great start for you to begin to change your patterns. Because this is how you understand what your subconscious mind is doing and what limits you have that maybe you never thought about before. You can uncover those thoughts, those beliefs, and once you bring them out to your conscious mind and to your understanding, then you can begin to create changes. So these are beliefs that your subconscious mind has created to keep you just where you are, feeling safe and comfortable, because that's what our subconscious mind is designed to do. You want to be successful, you want to have more, you want to live a different life, but deep inside, your subconscious doesn't believe that you can have that. But now you know this is one of your limits or limiting beliefs. And now you know that you can change that. And how do we break that pattern? In hypnotherapy, we go in again. So we're going to go through this exercise one more time. But this time, I want you to know that you deserve more. I want you to know that you are in control. That your imagination has no limits. So go ahead and close your eyes one more time. Relax. And now visualize again how much money you have in your bank account. How much money you want to have. And I want you to double that amount and make it grow. And know that it's okay for your money to grow because you deserve it. Because you can have this. And go ahead and double it again. And double it again. And again. And again. And again. And now multiply this by 10. And multiply it again by 10. And again. And again. And see more and more money in your account. And it's okay. It's safe for you to do that. And do it again. And keep going. See your money grow. Now open your eyes again. And let's reflect on this experience. How different did it feel for you this time? Again, you can share in the chat if you like. Were you able to let your money grow even past the amount that made you feel doubtful the first time? I hope the answer is a big yes. And if that was not the case for you, don't worry about it. Again, this is part of the process. It's like peeling off one layer at a time, making small changes, one session at a time. I'm glad to see that it felt easier for some people and some of you were able to do that. So this is like a big understanding. And I hope that it helped you kind of realize and understand how this works. You see, your subconscious is filled with ideas that at some point in your life, you very deeply believed to be true for you. And now that you know that you can change them, you understanding your beliefs helps you begin the work to break free from them. You have to bring them to your conscious mind so you can replace them into something that aligns more with what your life should be, what you want your life to be. And again, it's not going to happen from one day to the next. This takes time. Whatever it is that you want to change in your life, it takes time and it needs your commitment to make those changes. So I want you to think about your mind like a garden. Your conscious mind is what flourishes and can be seen above the ground, like the leaves and the flowers. And the subconscious mind is the root system underneath. This is the unseen part that is feeding and shaping everything that grows above. So what you see around, whatever you see your life or what's surrounding your life, this is what your subconscious is bringing out. Today, we are going to explore what's growing in your soil and whether it still serves the future you. Because most people try to fix their lives by trimming the leaves and fixing the outside, but the real transformation happens when you understand and you nurture the roots. And these are activities that you can start doing from home. You can start making little changes for yourself at home just by paying attention to your thoughts and trying to change those thoughts. For example, if you normally wake up in the morning and you, or throughout the day, you have a negative thought that comes to your mind, like, I'm not enough, or I don't deserve this. Try to pay attention and make those actions conscious. That way, you can start to change those thoughts into something that's going to help you change your life. So, for example, if you find yourself telling yourself, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not going to be able to do this, realize when that thought comes and change it. Change it in that moment. Stop it right then and there and change it so that you can replace it with something that is going to be beneficial. For example, you can say, I'm really good at this and I know I can make this happen. The important thing is to make that a quick change, and it takes time. Just keep working on it. Keep paying attention to your inner thoughts, to your inner dialogue. And I always like to tell people that journaling or being grateful, writing down what you're grateful for, at least 3 items that you're grateful for that day, either at the beginning of your day or at the end of your day before you go to sleep, that begins to make changes in your life that create a more positive outcome, a more positive view of the life, the world that surrounds you. So think about that. And again, these are small things that you can begin to change in your life. So the life that you live right now, like I mentioned, is a reflection of your beliefs and your subconscious. Much of your life runs in autopilot, not because you're broken, but because your mind is designed to conserve energy. Scientists say that about 90 to 95% of your daily thoughts, your reactions, and your habits happen automatically. Your subconscious uses old patterns, memories, and emotional shortcuts to keep you moving through life without having to overthink. The problem is that if these patterns were learned during stress, childhood, or on survival mode, the autopilot may be steering you somewhere where you no longer want to go. So I'm sure many of us have had an experience where, you're driving home from work and your mind is so, it's thinking about other things, or is stuck in a thought that you miss everything that happened, and all of a sudden you don't realize how you got to your house or how you got to where you were going. These are the autopilot actions that our body, our subconscious mind creates for us. Again, to make it easier, to make us go through it faster. And just to give you that example, these are the things that you want to bring to your consciousness, because that's how you can change them. Now let's go through another exercise. This will be our guided self-discovery experience. So if you're able to, I want you to close your eyes again, take this chance to relax, tune in, and let your subconscious show you something new. You don't have to try to make things happen during this session. Just listen and allow in whatever comes to mind. And again, remember, you are in control. You'll be able to open your eyes anytime that you want through the session. So go ahead and get comfortable. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in and out. And take another deep breath. And let your body begin to soften. With each breath, feel your shoulders release, your face relax, and your hands rest gently. Imagine now that you are walking along a peaceful path, a place that feels safe and calm. The air is warm, the light is soft, and with each step, your mind becomes quieter. As you walk, you come across a mirror, standing tall, surrounded by light. This mirror doesn't just show your reflection. It shows you your emotions, your beliefs, your experiences. So take a moment to look into the mirror. What do you notice about the version of you that stands there? What expression do you have? What emotion do you carry? Now imagine that in this reflection, there is an earlier version of you, perhaps a younger you, or simply a part of you that once learned a belief that no longer fits. Maybe that belief was something like, I'm not enough. or I have to be perfect to be loved. Don't force it. Simply notice what comes to mind. And it's okay, as that is part of you. Now, gently thank this part of yourself for doing its best to protect you. Let them know that you are thankful for everything it taught you, for everything you learned, but you don't need it anymore. And as you breathe, imagine standing at light, understanding and compassion. Now say to yourself, I choose to understand myself. I choose to love me. And I choose to love the future me. And in this mirror, now notice your reflection again. And see it begin to change, growing brighter, calmer, more confident. Feel what that version of you feels. See what that version of you sees and hears. Feel the love surrounding you, the calm, the confidence. You are seeing the version of yourself who is ready to live with clarity and strength. The version of you that you've been searching for. The version of you that is who you are. Take a deep breath in, and if it feels right, bring your hands to your chest. The left over your heart and the right over your left. And feel that light fill your chest with love, compassion, with strength. And as you exhale, anchor that feeling deep within you. And just stay there for a moment. Enjoy the feeling, the peacefulness, the love, the strength. When you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to your body, your feet, your hands, your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when it feels right, gently open your eyes and reflect on your experience. Again, if you'd like to share anything in the chat, you can, or you can keep it to yourself. This is a moment for you. But I want you to take a moment to notice how you feel. You can write it down on your handout or on your notepad. And now on your handouts, there were some questions at the end as well, just to give you some perspective and for you to think about your experience. What stood out to you? And what did you feel? Were there any surprising thoughts that surfaced? What beliefs or messages surfaced during that experience? What new truth do you want to hold instead? All of these feelings and these experiences that you had, they are a good starting point for you to begin to reflect on what you want to feel instead, on how you want to change that in your life. And you can work on this at home. You can work on this throughout. Again, what new truth do I want to hold instead? These are some journaling prompts that you can use to change those thoughts, those feelings, to begin to, now that it opened up and some of those feelings came up, you can begin to change them and place something in there instead. I think I saw in the chat someone said about grief coming up. So this exercise is beautiful because it can help you understand that it's okay to feel that way. And now focus your thoughts or your intention on the good things that were left with you. And then you also want to think about, how can you remind yourself of this new belief daily? How do you want to make sure that you constantly and continuously work through this new belief that you want to hold for yourself? Again, one of the easy ways that I could recommend is, when you feel the other or the previous belief coming up, just right away in that moment, change it to the new one that you want to hold. You may have to write it down so you don't forget, or have it somewhere where you can think about it or see it daily. One of the things that I like to do throughout the days that help me stay positive and create those moments of peace in my day-to-day is, whenever I'm driving, if I stop at a red light, that's like a cue for me to say something nice about me for that day, or to say something that I'm grateful for that day. So you want to create little anchors, I think is what they would be called, so that when you come across this, you automatically put in something new. So at the beginning, it's a lot of, you have to do it very consciously, because you have to remember, you have to, make sure that you get it done. But after a while, again, this becomes an unconscious action. So then you won't even have to think about it. It's not even going to be like, oh my God, now I have to do this. You're just going to automatically, whenever you get to that red light, automatically you're going to say, I'm grateful today for this and that. I'm grateful today for my life, for my family, anything that will help you begin to change those thought patterns in your mind, in your subconscious. So before we close, I'd love for you to write down on your handout what stood out and what you are taking with you today. And again, you can share it in the chat if you like. And then also repeat to yourself, I am learning to trust my inner voice and create my life from a place of peace and clarity. And I can repeat it back if you want to write it down. I am learning to trust my inner voice and create my life from a place of peace and clarity. And this is a phrase which some people call mantras, that you can begin to say to yourself every day, or you can use it as a replacement for whenever you have a negative thought, whenever you have a doubtful experience, or whenever something comes up that you don't want to hold with you anymore. You can say to yourself, I am learning to trust my inner voice and create my life from a place of peace and clarity. And remember that awareness is the first step to transformation. So making those negative thoughts or those patterns conscious, you will be able to make changes in your life, or make changes to them. So what you discovered today, I hope that it was valuable, even if it was subtle. Keep noticing your thoughts this week. And when you catch a new thought or belief, pause and replace it with one that aligns with who you are becoming. Thank you again for being here today. I hope this session brought you insight and calm to continue your journey. And again, on the handouts that were sent to you, you'll find some simple practices and a little bit of information to help you continue on your journey. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time and being here with us today.
Um, Thank you so much, Maya, for this very interesting session. It almost felt uh, like a meditation session. I loved it a lot, and I will definitely personally, I will take with me that idea with the stoplight. Um, and it just made me think a lot about Letters from Love. If every one of you is familiar with Elizabeth Gilbert's Substack, she always tells people to talk to themselves as if love is talking to themselves, and I find it very helpful. But anyway, thank you everybody for being with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the program, and please come back again to our library programming. Have a good evening,
Thank
everyone.
you. That is very beautiful. Thank you, everyone.